Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Chasing History. My name is Chase Pops with Smoky Mountain Relic Room, and we're here with Harvey Warrner. Now Harvey is one of the most knowledgeable people that we've ever met about a lot of Civil War era artifacts and documents. One thing that he really specializes in is Civil War stamps. Now, I know what you're thinking. Stamps aren't nearly as what's so cool about a stamp, but trust me, stamps are cooler than you think. Harvey, tell us a little bit about the stamps that the Confederacy used before the war, during the war. You were telling me some cool stuff, man. Enlighten us.
Stamps are cool.
Stamps are cool.
The Confederacy, put yourself in their point of view. They have no country, and they start on one day a complete postal system. That's delivery routes, that's canceling systems, that's stamps, all in one day. They nominated a guy named Randolph from Texas. Each Confederate state was represented in the cabinet. Randolph did not decline the nomination. He said, I won't do it, it's impossible. They came back to him the next 3 days and said, we need for you to do it, and he said, for our country we'll do it. But for the first 6 months of the Confederacy didn't have stamps. So what they did was they used the federal stamps, and believe it or not, they gave the money to the federal government.
Whoa, what? Wait a minute. Okay, all right, hold on. So what you're saying is that for the first 6 months of the Civil War, the Confederacy actually used U.S. stamps, postage, the whole shebang.
And the proof's in the pudding. Right here is a federal stamp used by the Confederacy before June 1st.
So that's a U.S. stamp on a Confederate letterhead.
Yes. Mailed in the Confederacy.
Mailed in the Confederacy. That is cool.
And even doing that for 6 months, you know that the Confederate Post Office was the only time in American history that the Post Office made a profit. The U.S. Post Office has never made a profit in the 200 years.
So, okay, wait a minute. I told you, stamps are awesome. So check this out. So what Harvey's saying is that basically, U.S. Post Office has never made a profit. Never made money ever. You can forget it. I mean, a lot of us know that today. I mean, it ships. Yeah, I don't know about that. So the Confederacy, actually, the Confederate government in their postal system made a profit.
The only
post office that made a profit was the Confederate government. That's hilarious. Oh, that's awesome. So, all right. So they're getting all this money in from the post office using U.S. and Union stamps. So what were they doing with this money? Was it going to fight the war? Was it going to their government? Like what were they doing with this money?
Well, after June 1st, before June 1st, they sent it to the federal government. After June 1st...
Which federal government?
The United States government, not the Confederate government. So they were using the postage, and so they sent the money to that. After that point, it went to fund the Confederacy. The Confederacy...
No, wait. Hold on, because this is cool. Okay, so the first... this is awesome. So for the first 6 months that they were using the Union stamps, war was on. They were fighting, but they were still sending the money to the Union? Is that what you're saying? They were sending the money.
And it's called Confederate use of federal postage.
Confederate use of federal. So, well, that's kind of cool because it kind of shows, the honor that was in it at the very first part of the war, the whole chivalry and everything like that. Yes, we're going to use your stamps, but we're going to send you the money also. We're also going to fight you, but we're going to send you the money. That's insane.
Now, Chase, what they also did was they got a handmade stamp that said Mobile, Alabama, whatever it was, and they stamped that, and that's called a provisional stamp. And that way they kept that money for the Confederacy, and it was a hand stamp, so there was a window of about 4 months where they used a provisional stamp. Then there were 13 Confederate stamps made during the war. Most of them have Jefferson. Sorry. There were 13 Confederate stamps made during the war. Most of them have Jefferson Davis on them. None have any Confederate generals on them. Half those stamps were printed in the Confederacy, but their paper supply and their technology was so poor that half the stamps ran through the blockade and have been printed in England. The two most important stamps, there's a Jefferson Davis stamp that says T-E-N.
Hear that, guys? For those out there, Jeff Davis stamp, T-E-N, very collectible.
$650. A Jeff Davis 10-cent stamp, 10 cents, is $12. $12 $1.650. Then they printed up a frame line stamp, and what it had a grid, and each stamp had a line on each side because the stamps were printed in sheets of 100, and so they cut them with scissors, and the people cutting them did such a poor job that they put a frame line where you're supposed to cut it on the line. If you have a frame line stamp with 3 frames on it, $3,000.
Oh, that's cool. See, I told you, stamps are awesome.
Stamps are cool.
All right, now here's what we want to do. All right, we've got a collection of Jefferson Davis stamps. We've got some individual stamps. We don't have any that say TEN on it. They're the 1 cent. They're not the $600 ones. But for our guys on Facebook, we want to do a giveaway. Now, Harvey, we've tried this giveaway, and we can never think of a good enough question. We got the man here. Harvey's going to think of an awesome question that you can't Google, so So, Harvey, and what we'll do is the first one that gets it on our Facebook and puts it in the comment section, we'll send you one of these Confederate stamps for free. But you got to get it right. And Harvey's going to tell us the answer. We're going to check with Harvey. So Harvey, what's a good question for everybody out there watching to get a free stamp?
Stamps are cool.
I told you.
Jefferson Davis left Richmond before it fell with his entire cabinet. He traveled almost 700 miles to the Florida-Georgia border where he was captured. Only one cabinet member was with him when he was captured. All the others parted ways someplace between Richmond, Virginia, and Georgia when he was captured. Who was the one Confederate cabinet officer that stayed with Jefferson Davis until the end?
I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't think that's one we can Google. So, all right, awesome. Harvey, thanks, man. I appreciate it very much. Guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on YouTube at Chasing History. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Chasing History and Smoky Mountain Relic Room. Come in the shop sometime and see us. We will never, ever, freaking ever, you can forget it, be on Twitter. Remember, how do you know where you're going unless you know where you've been? It's in studying and understanding the mistakes of the past we prevent the failures of the future. History rocks. Woohoo! Alright, there's one thing we want to add here that Harvey just corrected immediately as soon as we were done. You got to keep in mind, guys, we're at a show. Harvey's been here for 2 days working hard, trying to get it, setting up, selling, the whole 9 yards. So, his mind's not straight, my mind's not straight. One thing that he wanted to correct on this video is
Reagan was the Secretary of Post Office. Randolph was the Secretary of War. So I mentioned Randolph several times during the little presentation. That should be Reagan, and he was from Texas. My bad.
Reagan, not Randolph. So we got this little correction there. That's all right. History still rocks. Woohoo!